What's up, y'all? I'm not gonna be here all day. It's really early. My internet is out. I'm using my mobile internet. I'm actually using my phone, so the audio is going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. It's too early to call the service provider and say, why is my internet moving slower than dial-up? So we're just gonna have to do this through the phone. Good morning, Cynical. It's early too. It's like 5:30 here, so I'm bringing this content to you guys because it's super important. So yesterday I was going to do a stream, but I was tired. I ain't even cap. And this dog is of course gonna start squeaking. Run me that toy. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Thank you. I'll give it to you after the stream. Sorry about that, y'all. Anyway, who was I saying? I got distracted. Oh yeah, stream. I couldn't even finish listening to Tanya TKO's entire stream because it was just it's a long week. Like I work 5 days a week and then I have an internship 2 days out of the week. My schedule is full. So when it comes down to the fuck shit that goes on in these spaces, I just don't have the time for it. Not only do I not have the time for it, I'm losing interest in it. So a lot of times when like people are doing these exposés of people who I've exposed like 4 months ago, it's not as interesting. And it's not it's not shade towards Tanya TKO. She does interesting things over there. I'm watching her content now. I really like how she gives it up. But of course, if I expose the person with similar information months ago, it's not going to be as engaging. So at some point I tapped out. It was funny, but I was starting to tap out because I was already tired that day. Long story made super short. It's interesting how that whole situation played out. Because now y'all know I dog walk the fuck out of Jesse Macbeth. Chased his bitch ass off of YouTube, right? He ran over to TikTok. Now I hate TikTok. So needless to say, I wasn't going to go over to TikTok. I wasn't interested in following persons from platform to platform, bothering them. Now, for people to throw around the word stalking, they love to throw the word stalking around when you expose them. I really feel as though if a person leaves a certain platform and then you go to that other platform that they go to just to continue your behavior, I would argue that's stalking. Only in certain circumstances is that not considered stalking. But for the most part, if the person is no longer in the space that you're in, they go somewhere completely different, and then you end up in that space just so you can continue to follow them around. All right, that's cyber stalking, right? It was brought to my attention that he was over in TikTok pretending like he cared about black women, all that crazy shit. And I could have exposed him on TikTok. Easy. But I just didn't care. I had more important things going on in my life. And people know how to use Google. Like, it doesn't hurt to pop something inside of Google and see what it's about. And that was one of the things that I was a little upset about with Tanya TKO, because I don't understand how you can have such a large platform and be a person who is a spiritualist and be a person who is big on BWE content. So you should be already suspicious of any black or black adjacent man coming into your space trying to influence people, right? So for her to do none of those things, or for all of her systems to fail before she platforms Jesse Macbeth of all people, is a little suspicious. I was going to do a stream basically expressing how she should be ashamed of herself because she didn't do due diligence. But that isn't necessary. At the end of the day, we're all grown. What do I like trying to admonish somebody online? At the end of the day, you can just ignore me. But I was going to make a stream calling her out because I thought that was very lazy on her part. You can't just bring somebody on your large platform and expose, you know, your audience to this bullshit. But what I will say is she took responsibility for it, and she cleaned that up. She cleaned that mess up pretty quickly. So at the end of the day, I respect her for that. Not necessarily because she, you know, went on a little series of exposing Jesse Macbeth. Even if she wouldn't have done that, let's say she just would have came on her platform and said, look, I looked up some stuff about Jesse Macbeth. Here's some links. Check those out. He won't be allowed on my platform anymore. And that's the end of it. That would have been enough, in my opinion. She didn't have to necessarily do an expose. You know, the spirit made her do that. But hey, the fact is she cleaned up her mistake. So I respect her for that. So she definitely gets respect for taking some accountability, which is very rare in any of these spaces on YouTube, but especially when you start going into these black sectors. And black sectors does not just include the quote unquote black sector. There's a sector called that. But the Golden Sphere, Passport Bros, fucking divestors, all those people who are just black people complaining about each other, all those sectors, all of y'all are sort of related to each other, right? Of all those sectors, I've never saw any of those content creators take responsibility for platforming people who weren't good people. So Tanya definitely gets respect for that, because she didn't just take responsibility, she owned that shit. And then she owned him, because she was dragging his ass for a good, was it like 6 hours? she went on a marathon. Jesse, she called you homely, and I have to agree, you are very homely. I mean, I don't know what it is about some of you mixed race people in this space. Most mixed race people, myself, my family members, my great-grandmother, not my great-grandma, my grandmother on my father's side, she's half black, half biracial, half Puerto Rican, and she aged like wine. No wrinkles on her face. None. I'm looking at some of y'all faces in this Golden Sphere, or the related, you know, groups to the Golden Sphere. Y'all hoes out here aging like a wrinkle in time. Like, for real, y'all aging faster than your white family members, and it's probably because you're problematic. And Jesse Macbeth, you look old as fuck. Like, seriously, you're only what, 4 or 5 years older than me, and you look old as hell. Like, that's not a good look. This old man, he ain't real. He got dog walked by a beige pill. Like, I don't get why you even in these spaces trying to act like you're this virile, strong man when you're 38 and you look 78. I don't get it. But that's Jesse Macbeth for you. Like, his history in these spaces have always been problematic. When he appeared, when he brought himself out of the fucking shadows, out of the bushes, he should have kept his trash panda looking ass in the bushes where he belongs. But he jumps out of the bushes, bearing his fangs and claws. And the first person he went after was a woman. Y'all remember? Y'all remember her, what's her name? Biracial Starburst, some shit like that. Miss MM. Let's just call her Miss MM. That was her name in these spaces for the most part. Remember how he went for days on going in on this woman, never had a conversation with her. But because he wanted to ingratiate himself with the women of the Golden Sphere, old ass women like Golden Goddess, moose face ass broads like multi-racial movement. You know, he wanted to curry their favor. So what he did was he attacked their enemies, and most of their enemies were women. Then he moved on to pulling out a gun on the sheet for you. We still have that video. There's a reason why I haven't posted it up. I'm putting that in the Mudbone documentary. How you flashed your assault rifle, you know, a weapon you shouldn't even own. You shouldn't even have access to it, felon. You were flashing around an assault rifle, what, to intimidate some old ass ladies on YouTube? Let me explain something to you, nigga. I ain't afraid of no motherfucking gun. And my piece, it can go on me and you won't even know it's there. You walking around with a big ass assault rifle with a Teletubby tummy, we gonna see your ass coming a mile away. Nobody's gonna see mine on me. So that no one's afraid of guns. Everybody got a gun. I assume everybody in America damn near got a gun now. So who are you trying to intimidate? Why are you trying to intimidate women with firearms? Because they disagree with you on YouTube. Could you imagine disagreeing with someone on YouTube? Just a disagreement. We're not talking about attacks. We're not personal attacks, not at all. He hops his ugly ass on YouTube with an assault rifle. To prove what? Man, you lucky Lasheed saved. Because Had that been my mama, I would have come. Somebody would have had to come see you behind that shit. And finding you ain't that hard because you do DoorDash. Like you need to be careful out there. You better lay low. You moving real crazy out here, real crazy. What's up, everybody? I'm sorry. I'm not even looking at this chat. I'm sorry. It's weird because I'm looking at my phone. I'm trying to figure out what my internet's connected, but it's not moving like it's supposed to move. It's literally moving slower than dial-up. It's crazy. But getting back to the topic, because I can't spend too much time here. That was his behavior. And people like Jake Fail and fucking Magic Mulatto, everyone's trying to pretend like they're just so outraged by his behavior. They were co-signing for it. They were co-signing for it. I probably wouldn't say so much with Magic Mulatto. Magic Mulatto, she likes to try to pretend like she's innocent, but I don't find it I don't find it realistic that you're innocent, but you're always in this drama with all these different people. I mean, innocent people usually, I won't say innocent people don't find themselves in weird situations where they can be victimized or be targeted, but it's a lot of people in the same sector and they're all kind of saying the same stuff about the same person. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's smoke and there's fire there. But what I can say about her is I've never seen her go on public platforms. She may have things in her Discord that's anti-Black. Absolutely. In fact, she had a gentleman by the name of Blazing King in her Discord talking shit about Black women, making threats. This nigga threatened to stab some Black women. Why? Because they disagree with him. He was joining forces with Jesse Macbeth. See, this is what the Golden Sphere is really about. That's why I wanted no affiliation with these ghetto motherfuckers, because they weren't people who are up to my standards when it comes down to like socializing with these people or going on their platforms. Y'all kind of tacky, and y'all keyboard gangsters, and you're more concerned about getting doxxed because of the fucked up shit you guys do online. See, y'all are trying to dox me like that's gonna cause some trouble. Do you understand? I can have my cousins on YouTube right now. We can do a whole panel because we've been laughing at y'all for a couple of months. See, all mixed people don't have this tragic, depressed attitude. Many of us love our heritage, love where we're from. We understand that, you know, there are some advantages and there are some disadvantages depending on what city or what area you're in or what kind of, you know, career you have. We get it. I'm not beating myself upside my head. I'm not flogging myself because I'm mixed race. You guys are doing that because you have other issues. Your mixed race status isn't the real problem. It's your mental illness that's the problem. When Jesse Macbeth got washed out of the military, it wasn't because he had a white mom. He got washed out of the military because he's mentally unstable. Golden Goddess does not have 700 mugshots because she's biracial. She has 700 mugshots because she's an alcoholic with mental health issues and she doesn't know how to operate in the real world without causing problems. Those are very different things. We're not talking about, you know, people being targeted because they're mixed race. You're being targeted because you're an asshole. Like the piece of shit from Canada. Shaw, people don't like you because you're a piece of shit. And you like to troll online with all these different accounts, stealing people's pictures, trying to live vicariously through them. None of this has to do with the fact that you're being biracial. People don't like you because of how you fucking move. It's as simple as that. And one thing about me is I'm not trying to befriend the majority of the people in this mixed race space. Most of y'all some trash pandas. The majority of y'all are trash pandas. And you can tell the ones who are trash pandas because most of them were friends with Jesse Macbeth. If you were either neutral or didn't fuck with him, chances are I don't have no beef with you because you had discernment. You notice I don't say shit about Louis Gelato, even though he said some questionable shit in the past too. Very questionable things. But at the end of the day, he had enough discernment to know that Jesse Macbeth wasn't shit. Same thing goes for Anthony Ali. Same thing goes for Abby. All of these people are first-gen biracials. So it has nothing to do with this being a biracial issue. These people had discernment. They could tell that there's some fuck shit going on. They could smell it. You don't necessarily have to jump online and start talking shit about people, but you can tell that something's afoot here. Something's wrong with this person. I don't want to get too close to this person. See, people may not like how I do things, but one thing about me, I'm consistent. What I said last week is what I'm going to say next week, unless I get new information proving I was wrong. And another thing is I have integrity. A lot of people in this space ain't got no integrity. Jesse Macbeth is a good example of a person who does not have integrity. This nigga straight up lied and said that his mother was dead. Now, there's a difference between somebody being dead to you and being dead for real. Because he is going online on TikTok, my father killed my mother. First off, let's keep it a buck. The dude you claim that is your father, both your mother, Lisa Maxwell, who's very alive, and the family of that gentleman have all said that that's not your father. I have text messages from his children basically saying, stop claiming my father. Stop saying this man is your father. Stop going online and defaming him. And, you know, they can't really do anything legally because you can't really defame the dead, even though you can, but you can't. So they can't really do anything legally about it. So that's what Jesse is abusing that. He knows that, you know, they're threatening to get the courts involved, but what can they do? So Jesse is bringing this very dead man who he's never met, not once in his life. But that's your father, right? And then it's because I'm biracial. Bullshit. The man that he claims that is his father has children who have biracial children. And he's sitting up there with his biracial grandkids, big ass smile on his face, loving them to death. Before this man passed over 10 years ago, he is spending time with his biracial grandkids, and he looked very happy with them. This has nothing to do with that. But you got to have an angle. You can't just say that your mama was a skeezer and was letting a bunch of niggas fuck, and one of the niggas that was fucked just hit it and quit it and kept moving. Then you said your mother sold you into sex work. Okay, that's quite the allegation. Well, Lisa Maxwell is alive. Have that bitch arrested. Have her put in that hover round and have her brought into the damn police station because she's not really that old. Your mother's only like 17 years older than you, 17, 18 years older than you. She's in her mid-50s. Mid-50s, oh, no, she's like closer to her 60s and stuff. Not 60 yet, almost 60. Well, if all of this horrible stuff happened to you, had that broad arrested. Because if she sold you into sex work, that's a crime. And I would argue 60 is not too old to be thrown into prison. Didn't we throw Bill Cosby in prison for a couple of months? You're not putting her in prison. You're not calling for that because you know that didn't happen. Lisa Maxwell, and for the longest, I didn't say much about her, but Lisa Maxwell ain't shit either. When you go on her Facebook, which is very active, she has a pretty active Facebook for someone who's dead. She has a lot of low-key anti-black shit on her Facebook. It's very dog whistly. You can tell that she's one of those, you know, alt-right kind of people. She made some like anti-black statements about Michelle Obama. I don't know if she compared her to a monkey, but she compared her to some type of animal, you know, that low-key racist shit. So I'm not surprised that this dude hates black women. I'm not surprised. But he will use them because he knows, number one, ain't too many white women gonna take care of him. And it's not because white women don't take care of black men. White women still have white fathers, white brothers, white uncles, white cousins. And dating a black man, depending on your family, could be the scarlet letter. That could be the end of your association with that family. But you're not only just, you're not really even a black man, you're a biracial man. But bringing a biracial man like you into the family, after what you did in the military, how you lied about it, how you gleefully, as the article described, talked about murdering women and children, hanging them from the rafters and all that crazy shit. Yeah, most people wouldn't even want to be affiliated with you, white or black. So you found one woman with super low self-esteem to basically be the sacrificial mammy who's not only going to take care of everything because she's a nurse, and nurses make money. Nurses make money. They make a lot of money. But when you got like 6 kids, yeah, that money is kind of thin. Those are his kids. I suspect that there's no foolishness going on with that situation. But Jesse also had a child with that racially ambiguous woman, and that child should be somewhere around 20-something. Now the question is that his real child? Because everything in that pepper spray production video, that was all some fugazi shit. I don't know if that was his real wife. I don't know if that was his real child. It looks like this entire thing was staged. It looks staged. Who knows? Jesse pretends like that didn't happen. We're just hating on him, right? Reliable instinct. I'm flabbergasted. I had no idea about this man, but I'm drinking this tea. I mean, you ain't missing much. I ain't gonna lie. You're not missing much. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like when his story popped in like 2007, 2008, it was a lot of shit going on in that time period. He was just another, oddity acting stupid online. He got a couple of minutes of fame and then life went on. We went on to the next embarrassment in the media. So there was nothing that was that interesting that kept the media interested in what was going on his way. But you got to be real fucked up to lie about your mother being dead, saying that she sold you into sex work, and she's clearly alive. Like Lisa Maxwell is clearly alive. She hit me up. I didn't look for this woman. Like I had no reason to think that she was alive or to even look into that. I wasn't interested so much into his family. I was only interested into his legal history. That's what I was interested in. So she hits me up and she says, "Oh, that's my son." She shows me pictures. Her Facebook account goes all the way back to like the early 2000s, well, mid 2000s, I guess. So unless she's been stalking him since before then, there's no reason for her to have all these pictures up. Personal pictures, family pictures, pictures of just her with his siblings. That's your mom's. Your mom is alive. Your mom is alive, and you don't want to claim her because she's white, and you like to pretend like you're Muslim. You like to pretend like you're some type of Saudi or Egyptian. He thinks being Arabic and Egyptian are the same thing. If you're from Saudi Arabia, you're from Egypt, it's all the same culture. That's how I knew you weren't shit. That's how I knew you were lying about your ethnicity, because that's not the same thing. If you're a person who's half Egyptian and half African American, well, you're predominantly African. I won't say you're necessarily black per se, but you're predominantly an African mixed race person. Why are all your genes looking weird? Like some of his genetic makeup, he would only show you the sub-Saharan. He was always trying to hide stuff. And it's like, why are you hiding shit? Well, we know now why you're hiding shit. You were hiding that white problematic mother of yours, sitting in that damn hover round, posting about Michelle Obama, complaining about black people sagging their pants. Yeah, when you go to her Facebook, she has a lot of problematic shit on her page. That's your mammy. And that's why you act the way you do. Speaking of mammies, your wife, you're concerned about her career. Well, maybe she shouldn't be in these fucking spaces helping you troll. Maybe she shouldn't be doing that. If she was so concerned about her career, she probably shouldn't be doing that. But she's a pick-me of all pick-me. She's the head pick-me of the fucking coven. There is no pick-me above her. And stop blaming Magic Mulatto for the attacks that other people have made. For example, Magic Mulatto did not refer to his wife as a Yeti in a burqa. I said that. Because she is a Yeti in a burqa. She do look like Grimace. Like, I'm not about to sit here and take away something that I said. Look, the day that we can't call people who look like Grimace is the day the terrorists have officially won. So no, she looks like Grimace. She can get out of here with that triangle-ass body and stop getting online helping him harass and troll people. Y'all got 6 motherfucking kids. I'm confident there's something you could be doing. I don't know, play Clue. Teach them how to play the guitar. Do something. Spend some time building those relationships. Because as your kids get older, the internet's still going to exist. Somebody may pull up, one of them kids may pull up on one of your kids and say, "Is this your dad?" Because he's talking real greasy on the internet. Something to think about. See, y'all don't care about what happened to these kids. Y'all just move recklessly online. Like Jesse, especially you. I've done my research on you. It's some white people who are after your head. They are after your headpiece. I'm surprised nobody hasn't really tried for real. And you got your whole family up there. You got your all your kids and your wife in these pictures, so people know exactly what to look for. it shows that you don't care about them. Not for real. Because their safety would have been paramount. That would have been paramount. It's not. It's not for you. So that's my little input on this situation. I'm just gonna say this. Tanya TKO, good fight, good night. You definitely did what you had to do with that situation. Jesse Macbeth, I would encourage you to, no, like your narcissism, you're never gonna listen to any feedback. That's why your life is still fucked up today. That's why you're doing what you're doing right now, making fake receipts and, you know, paying people on Fiverr to leave you disparaging calls. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're really pathetic. You're really pathetic. So his mother told me in a conversation that he used to cut himself. Now, this is very much giving me borderline personality disorder. There's another person in this space with borderline personality disorder, Bobby Joe Reddick. And Bobby Joe and Jesse, they got into it a lot. And they got into it a lot because they're the same person. Bobby Joe's a drunk, so she has a unique kind of element. Because when you drink a lot, you know, that changes your mood, that changes the dynamics. I don't know if Jesse having any kind of addiction. I don't got anything that indicates that he has any kind of addiction. All of this looks like personality-oriented issues. But when you have two people with similar diagnoses that are narcissists, they're going to get into it because both of them want to be the head bitch in charge. Jesse is used to being the head bitch in charge. He is the lead diva in the group. He is the Beyonce of the group, so to speak. So any other person trying to take his space, he ain't having that. So that's why him and Bobby Joe got into it so much. With that being said, I'm done talking about these people until the Mudbone doc comes out. The Mudbone documentary will be on the main channel because that has the potential of really going viral. Because we're not just talking about Jesse Macbeth. We're talking about other people who were affiliated with Jesse Macbeth. Like Jesse Macbeth had a white woman in his space by the name of Jennifer Chapton, right? Who is a whole ass white woman who was pretending to be mixed race online so she can make anti-black statements against black women. She has a channel called Light Skin Tanika. Feel free to look it up. That was Jesse Macbeth's good friend. See, he coordinates with these kind of people. So we're going to really roll it out for you in that documentary, really put up everything. We're going to also expose the mass shooter. I'm going to try to get that investigation reopened regarding that mass shooter because he managed to slither away. Nah, bitch, we're going to get that investigation reopened. We getting you niggas off the streets by hook or by crook. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.